Awesome, guys. Well, today I have a student of mine, Graham Colmer, here on the other line. Wanted to hop on for a video testimonial about his success in Amazon. Just to give you guys a little bit of his backstory. He's been selling on Amazon since November. We've been working together since about May or so, and we helped guide him through the process and getting started on Amazon. And he's seen quite a bit of success already getting started, and I'll get him to chat a little bit more about that. But Graham, why don't you introduce yourself? Take us a little bit through your story, and then we can dive into a few more questions.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, I just want to thank you for all your support. Happy to do this because I've got nothing but good things to say. I used to work at a firm called Canaccord Wealth Management Company, and we had originally, I have known you for a while, growing up playing soccer together, and you had reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're having some good success in this Amazon space. I know you're interested in e-commerce," because I was doing drop shipping for socks a few years ago that had absolutely zero success. So I think you guys knew that I had some interest in e-commerce and always doing like a little side business. So you reached out, I think it was in the beginning of May sometime. Hey, just take a look at this Amazon FBA stuff. If you're interested, we're happy to help you out. We've been doing it for a bit. So I looked into it. It looked absolutely phenomenal. So that's kind of when I started it. And I started that when I was still working at Canaccord and working only like, let's say 5-10 hours a week, just on the business. And you had helped me through it, tell me where to start, give me some tips on finding products, stuff like that. So I first launched my product in November was my first sale. And then at the end of November, I quit my job. So it turned out phenomenal for me. I love where I worked and I still do that on the side. Some consulting work, but I'm no longer tied to the market hours of 6:30 to 1. It's given me all the freedom in the world. If I want to jump on my Amazon business at 1 a.m., I can. If I want to get up early and tackle the day at 5 a.m., I can. The choice is mine. So eternally grateful. You are my freedom provider.
Awesome. Yeah. You've had some really good success. Why don't you talk a little bit about kind of the numbers you were doing? Because a lot of people get started and they see all these huge numbers and they're like, oh, it's not real, yada, yada, yada. But take us through, the numbers, but also the margins. I think that's a very important part that not a lot of people talk about. So it would be good to hear from somebody that just got started.
Yeah, totally. So I started with my product. The average sales were around 500 a month per units. And I made the mistake of purchasing 1,000 pieces, but they come in sets of 2. So I actually had only ordered a month's worth of inventory of 500. So when that came into Amazon and I started selling, ranking my product, I was on page 1 pretty quickly. Sales started to pick up quite a bit. So that first month I did 13,000 US in sales. And my margins were still super high, I think it was like 45%. So I was thinking, oh, this is beautiful. And then the end of November came around, early December, I got a little notification from Amazon saying, hey, low stock. Like, oh, God damn. So I had to turn down some of my PPC and kind of slow down the sales a little bit because I didn't want to run out of inventory. But my margins were phenomenal. I placed double the order for my product right away. It's being manufactured, but 13,000 the first month. In December, it was lower, obviously, because I slowed down sales at around, I think ended up being like around 9,000 US. With still, I think the profit margins dropped to 40% because I lowered the price a little bit, but insane profit margins. I doubled my order.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now,
phenomenal sales. Yeah.
Graham, when you started off, like how much did you put away to get started? It sounds like obviously you wish you put more into it because you wouldn't have gone out of stock, but good problem to have, right? You've proved the concept, you know that it works. Now, doubling that order, being able to last and being able to be in stock. How much did you put away just for the people that are getting started?
Yeah, totally. My product was a little bit more expensive for the launch. My sales price is roughly around $55. So in turn, you can imagine that the cost of the product is higher. The cost was around $12.80. Shipped to Amazon was around $13.40-ish. So the inventory alone took up a big chunk. But I think at the end of the day, setting up the company, ranking the product, getting my photos, renders, stuff like that, all of that, it ended up being, this is in Canadian dollars, around 13,000 Canadian. Cool. Which in US dollars is around 10. And the return on investment has been insane. I really wish I had put more into it so I didn't have to order inventory so soon and slowed down the sales in December, which is a great month for us sellers, but nonetheless a phenomenal problem to have. So no complaints.
Cool. So, for this year, Graham, what's kind of your plan? with the brand? Are you launching more products?
Yeah.
What are your
Yeah.
kind of next steps to take an Amazon to the next level for yourself?
Yeah. So I've kept, I haven't taken any money out of my business. I could have easily done that in the first, even the second month, taken a few $1,000s out. But I left everything in the business because I wanted to launch more products. Chinese New Year's is coming up. So I've got one product that I'm about to place a deposit on right now because everything's ready to go. However, after Chinese New Year's, I've got two other products I want to launch. So in the next month or so, hoping to launch three more products.
Awesome.
And I do really attribute that to keeping most of the money in the company. I really wanted to grow the business, not just stick in these tens of thousands. I wanted to bump it up and hopefully before summer get above 50,000 in revenue. And I think that's a low goal for myself, just by the sales velocity of these three products I'll be launching shortly here. So I really attribute that to keeping most of it in the company and just scaling this business, double down on where you've had success. So I'm doing that right now.
Awesome. Now, yeah, that's really good. And that's the way that we did it. People that are working definitely do what we did in putting the money back into the business and just growing it as much as you can, and then reaping the benefits as things look a little bit better. But
Totally.
Graham, talking to the people that are going to be watching this, a lot of the new people are going to be watching this, of course, people that are wanting to get into Amazon. What can you say about Amazon, the opportunity, and what's some advice that you can give to people that are just getting started?
Yeah, find somebody to help you is probably my number one piece of advice. Just speaking from experience, I didn't have a course or anything to watch or follow along with. I had you guys, which was phenomenal, but I did take a lot of steps just by myself, thinking I could do it and not just double checking or verifying. So one of the things I did was I didn't include a keyword in my listing, and I was trying to rank for that keyword. So obviously all of my giveaways and it didn't work. It was useless. So kind of a waste of money, but helped my sales nonetheless. Just something like that. Just an easy question to ask somebody would have saved me at least a few $100, or I think it's close to 1,000. But number one, I think, is just have somebody that's doing it and that's credible. A lot of the YouTube videos out there, and I was just curious because I never watched any YouTube videos or researched the business. I just always went to you guys, which I think was probably the best decision I made, because later I watched all these YouTube videos and the information they provide is so generic and just commonsensical that you wouldn't even need to watch the video. You're probably better off not watching the video. Just having your regular business knowledge would probably provide you more success than some of those. So if you have somebody you can ask questions or just follow along that has been successful in this business, that's probably my one biggest piece of advice. Also stick with it. It's generally whatever you put into it, you get exactly the same amount, then some out. So if you just leave it on the back burner, try and launch and rank your product and just don't pay attention to who's buying it, what keywords are successful, stuff like that, you're not going to have as good success. Success will still be there, but it's really dependent on your drive.
Totally. That is very, very important in the business, and understanding customers. Because at the end of the day, the customer is always right, and they're the people that make us the money. So the better we can do them, the better it's going to be for businesses overall. But yeah, Graham, I appreciate you hopping on the call here. I know this is going to be useful for a lot of people. Yeah, I appreciate the time, and I hope you have a good day.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too.